guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Allison. I'm 28 years old and I post a lot of content about budgeting, personal finances, productivity, and goal setting. So if any of that is interesting to you, feel free to subscribe and follow along. Today's video is going to be another video on how I budget my paycheck. I really enjoy making these videos and they tend to do well on all my social media platforms. I think it's just because it's very interesting to people and how other people budget their paycheck. I feel like a lot of people are like low-key nosy, but it's totally fine. I also feel like it has to do with the fact that a lot of people feel like they have opinions on how other people manage their money, which I'm gonna do what works for me and other people are gonna do what works for them. So I just think it's funny seeing all the comments that people post on like my TikToks about how I'm doing my finances, but why I think that it sparks kind of this interesting topic and why videos do well on this topic, because finances are still like taboo. People don't want to talk about them themselves, or they don't know how to talk about them. Like even me, I didn't know much about my finances before the last few years, and like I'm still not perfect by any means. So I feel like I enjoy sharing it because like I wish that I kind of had seen videos of other people, been on top of my finances a little bit earlier, but nobody teaches you any of this stuff. So let's get started. I get paid bi-weekly and I'm an hourly employee, so my paychecks do like fluctuate just slightly. I also look at, so like this paycheck that I got today, and while I'm filming this video, it's February 9th. I'm probably not going to be posting this until like the week after, but so this pay period is February 9th through February 22nd. So I take a look at those 2 weeks and see any kind of bills or subscriptions or anything that's going to be due during those weeks, and that's kind of how I decide like how to budget for these 2 weeks with this paycheck. So I'll start with my income for this pay period. I got paid from my like full-time job $2,383, which is pretty good. I know I'm very lucky and fortunate that I do have a pretty good paying job. I'm also part of the TikTok creativity program, so I get paid every 15th of every month on whatever I made the previous month. So like that'll happen during this pay period. So in January, because it's now, I'm getting paid in February for what I made in January from TikTok. That is going to be roughly $310. Honestly, it's been kind of a crazy last 2 weeks. I had some expenses that I wasn't really expecting. So in my checking account, I really only had $5 left, which is terrifying. I don't like only having $5 in my checking account. That's my income breakdown on like what I use to then budget for what I have to pay for in the next 2 weeks. The first thing I always save is for my rent. Rent is only $850, and again, I'm very fortunate that my rent is that low, and it has to do with where I live and like what area of like the country that I live. It's February, so I'm saving my rent for March 1st that I'm paying. So I'm gonna save $400 from this paycheck, and I'll save $450 from my next paycheck. I'm gonna be saving $400, and I just put that into like my checking account that I can just, it's like a savings account attached to my checking account, so I can move it like pretty easily. But I put it there so that I don't spend it and that I know that that's what that's for. The next thing that I save for is my school. I know I mentioned this in my last videos. I'm going back to grad school. I'm not taking any loans because I didn't want any more student loans. What I'm doing is paying for it like as I go, which has been fine. It's been like a little bit of a sacrifice for now, but in the long run it's definitely going to be better for me, and I was in a position where I could like set aside money each paycheck to be able to just pay for it and then never have to worry about it again, and then hopefully it's also going to help me make more money in the future. Hopefully. Like, who the hell knows these days? Like, I don't really know, but we'll see. So every paycheck recently, like, I guess probably for the last, like, year and a half, I've been saving $300, and that goes into a high-yield savings account while I wait until I have to pay the bill. I have 5 more paychecks until I have all the money saved for my last tuition payment. So I'm super excited about that. We're getting super close, and then I'll have like $600 extra a month that I can put towards debt and savings and all this stuff, and I'm just so excited. I'm so ready for like to not have to pay for that anymore. And yeah, because it's been kind of a goal of ours this year to buy a house. We're getting married in June, so we're hoping by the end of the year we can buy a house. For my finances, like, it's tough because I don't have a lot of wiggle room for saving right now, but I wanted to make sure that I was at least saving a little bit so that we do have some money to put for a down payment for a house. Again, until I'm done paying for school, it's kind of just a little bit at a time, but a little bit adds up and makes a difference. So I've been putting $100 each paycheck into like a little house fund, and that also sits in a high yield savings account so it can get some interest while I'm waiting. Then next, like I said, we're getting married in June. We both have been putting money into a separate high yield savings account that we can both contribute to for wedding expenses, because weddings are expensive. When I'm posting this video, I will have posted my wedding budget breakdown video, so if you want to check that out, it's very interesting, I think, seeing what the average 2024 prices are for a wedding and to educate you guys on maybe just eloping, honestly. In this joint savings account, I've been putting $250 per paycheck into there, and yeah, we just use that for anything wedding related. And now that we're like kind of towards the end here, we booked everything, so we know pretty much what we need to pay at this point. Now we just keep putting money in there until the bill, like until things start being due. Again, I'm excited for that to be over as well, because I probably will not be putting as much into that joint savings account. Maybe we can both just lower it a little bit and like still use that, but I would like to maybe not put $500 in there per month, because then again, if I can even bring that down to maybe like $400 or $300 a month, then I can be using that extra money to help pay off my debt a little bit faster, because I'm on a debt payoff journey this year as well. Next is groceries. We both put money into a grocery account. So I put $100 every week in, or every paycheck, into our grocery account. So during this pay period, my car payment is due. I like to put a little bit extra. I'm hoping to put even more towards my car loan. My car loan is the only debt that I have right now that has interest, so I really am hoping to like put a lot towards that once some money starts to like free up here. Either way, I still do put a little bit more than what my actual car payment is. My car payment is like $332. Put it in my mind that my car payment is $350. One, because it's just an easier number, and two, that way every single month I'm at least putting a little bit extra towards it. During these 2 weeks, my subscriptions are going to be about $46. I usually round that up just to, again, to be safe. So I have my Netflix, which is $15.49, my Hatch alarm subscription, which that's the annoying thing about, I will say, the annoying thing about all these technology things that you buy, like I have an Aura ring and I have the Hatch alarm clock. All of these things have monthly subscription payments, and it's like, hey, you guys didn't tell me this when I bought it. Well, actually I probably knew that about the Aura ring, but dang, like, I love the Hatch alarm clock, like I really truly do. So it's worth spending this much to me, but it's like, okay, I already paid the like $120 for the alarm clock, and now I'm paying $4.99 a month forever because I just want to use this alarm clock. Like, can we not be doing that anymore? Like, I don't want to do that anymore. And then I also pay Apple $2.99 every month for like cloud storage. I don't know. My Planet Fitness membership, which is $10, and then, oh, again, another subscription for these technology things. I have Blink cameras for around the house, and you have to pay a subscription for those too. So that's $10.63. I filed my taxes this week and it was horrendous. I actually hated it, every second of it. I've always been like the type of person who likes to do little like side jobs and like make money any way I can. But when you do that, like when you make money on TikTok, you're not paying taxes on it. So then you get like the 1099 form. You have to pay taxes on that income after the fact, because like when you have a job, they just take the taxes out as you go before you get like your take-home pay. It's like super complicated and super frustrating. Also even more confusing because I live in one state and I work in another state, so I have 3 states that I had to file taxes in. SOS, somebody help me. I'm just a teenage girl who doesn't know what she's doing. Anyway, long story short, the reason I'm saying this is because I did owe taxes in one state. In the grand scheme of things, I did get like a refund. It wasn't really that much, which is fine. I owed $70 for my state taxes. So that's gonna come out of this pay period as well. I put $100 towards our honeymoon. I'm just making payments towards it right now until the final payment is due. And then I put $100 towards my student loans, which I'm slowly paying off. I'm like, say all this out loud, the amount of money that I would actually have if I wasn't paying for school right now, a wedding, a honeymoon, student loans, and then the last thing, which I'm going to mention after this, my credit card. I would have so much money if I wasn't paying for all of this. Ugh, I know that's just life, like I really do. When you actually go through it and you're like, damn. I just had like a revelation there and it was sad. Lastly, I put $200 towards my credit card. I'm slowly paying that off too. My balance on my credit card is not very high and it's on a 0% interest card. But obviously not having credit card debt would be better than having credit card debt, so we are slowly working on that. So also the money that I got from TikTok, which I said was like $310, I'm gonna break down like kind of separately. Because I had a horrible tax experience and I hope to make more money from social media this year, I'm gonna be like really on top of my taxes. What they suggest, and who's they, I don't know, but what they suggest is saving like 30% of any income you get from like non-taxable income, to save like 30% of it for taxes. I'm gonna save $95 for taxes, and again, just don't even touch it. Sorry for that was a ramble, but essentially that's what a lot of content creators do, so that's what I'm gonna do instead of just spending all the money. I am gonna put $100 towards our couch payment. I have to buy contacts within the next like month. Put $100 towards my contacts in a little savings bucket that I have for contacts. So nothing fun really. Like honestly, I wish I could use that money for something else, but I can't. So if you total all of that up, it's gonna come to $2,311, leaving me with $387 for the next 2 weeks. What I've realized about myself, it's better to have a little bit extra for the 2 weeks to make it through. Every 2 weeks, I budget roughly $160 for gas because I do drive pretty far for work. Eventually, I want to work part-time, at least like I would love to go to 4 days a week next year and then potentially 3 days a week when I have a kid. So I'm okay with spending the money on gas because the place that I work now has been like pretty open about allowing me to do that, as well as for what I do, I'm getting paid pretty well. So it makes sense for me to stay there even though the commute is kind of long. I don't know. Again, we'll see what happens. Life happens. It could end up being different than that. But, so that leaves me, if you subtract that from the $387, that leaves me with like $227. Really, like I only really have $227 for the 2 weeks. Anything that I don't spend from the $227 can be used towards, like say I only spent $127. Then I have $100 that I could put towards my car or my loans or whatever. That is how I budget my paycheck. Every paycheck is gonna be like a little bit different. Honestly, I'm excited for when, again, I don't have to pay for school and the wedding's over and like all these things, because then my finances are gonna change a little bit. That is how I budget my paycheck. If that's interesting to you at all, great. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching these videos. I enjoy making them and I hope that you enjoy them as well. So yeah, we will see you guys in the next video.